Benji.
Yeah, that's them.
Hello. Firstly, big thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us here today. I hope you have got lots of value from the discussions that we've put on and we've taken part in. My name's Sholto. It's my and my team's responsibility to support all of our sellers to be successful on the platform. And I am delighted to be joined by 4 sellers for our panel discussion on how they've grown their business on eBay. So before I get an opportunity for our sellers to introduce themselves, this is an opportunity for you to ask any questions that you may have of these sellers. So if you want to ask any questions, please go into the events app, go to this section which is called eBay Seller Success Stories. It's blue on the agenda. If you click into that, there's a Q&A section. You can ask a question and it should appear on this iPad and I can ask it for you. So while you're thinking of your questions and submitting them, maybe we switch to our lovely panelists and you can start by introducing yourselves. If you could share your name of your business, how long you've been trading, what you sell, and give us a sense of scale of your operations. Maybe Caitlin, start with you because you're closest to me.
Yeah, thanks for having us today. I am Managing Director of SHS Trading. We've got 3 brands which all have their own stores on eBay. Started on eBay in 2010, so wee bit of a lifer. And we've got Garden Mile, Marco Polo, who's our hero brand, and Done It Tools, which is slightly smaller. In terms of SKUs, we've got about 5,000 lines, and we started on eBay and then we scaled to other marketplaces, and of course one of them is Amazon, which is where the predominant, most of our revenue kind of comes from. In terms of scale now, we've got a team of about 80 to 100. We're based in central Scotland. And yeah, we normally do about 1 million orders a year. So pretty decent sized operation, keeps us on our toes.
Amazing, congratulations. Nicola.
Hi, my name's Nicola. I'm the co-founder of Pre-Loved Tech. We are a mobile IT technology recycling company and e-commerce, mainly trading on eBay, other marketplaces as well, but mainly eBay is our main source. There's a team of about 6 of us now, been trading on eBay personally since 2003, but the business was officially set up in 2019. And we probably turn over around about 400,000 a year on eBay platform.
Amazing, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Elaine.
Hello everyone, I'm Elaine Brown. I'm the Chief Exec of the Edinburgh Remakery. We're a social enterprise and charity based in Edinburgh. We specialise in refurbishing and selling tech. We do that on eBay. We've been going since 2012, but really been on eBay seriously for 5 years. And we sell on eBay and on our website. So eBay is our primary sort of source. We're really passionate. Everything we do at the Remakery is about sustainability. It's about saving the planet and making sure that people buy responsible, refurbished tech. So eBay has been a crucial part of our business model, and our turnover is around 600,000, and a huge proportion of that is from eBay sales.
Awesome. Benji.
Hello, I'm Benji. I am the baby of the group here. These women are all much more successful than I am, but I'm happy to be here nonetheless and talk to you all. I sell clothing on eBay. I've been doing it for about 3 years now, and we're one-man operation from a unit by myself. It's been really good, to be honest with you. I started not too long ago, kind of as a hobby, got into car boots like a lot of people might have here, and kind of worked our way up from there. And now we've been full-time in clothing for the last 2 years, and I'm on track to about 120,000 in revenue. Actually, it might be slightly less than that because I took a different approach to some things recently. But yeah, we're the baby, and I'm here to talk to them. I'm excited to hear about their businesses, to be honest with you. It's quite exciting.
And business is growing every year?
Yeah. It's a bit, I mean, again, you start from kind of, especially when you start from a hobby and stuff and you don't come into a business, you've got to find your feet and work your way up. It's not as simple as like suddenly you're massive. You got to start somewhere, build your way up every year, and try and keep growing, unless you're happy, You could get to wherever. There's some people that want to do it as a part-time thing and just, happy with the extra income. But yeah, I think if you want to be a business, you've got to focus on growing every year, else what are you doing really?
And can you give us a sense of like your operations? Like you're just starting out, you're 3 years in, you're growing rapidly. Are you still selling inventory, storing it in your garage, or have you moved?
Okay, so my mum got really angry at me probably about a year and a bit in, and told me to get everything out the house because it was really annoying her. So I then basically was looking around for a unit and a storage facility of some sort. I was looking at storage containers, like the big shipping containers, because they're normally quite cost-effective, council garages. But as a guy, when you go to your barber, you kind of vent all your feelings. Anything that's going on, it's like a little personal therapist. And I was telling him, I'm really struggling to find somewhere available at a good price. And he walked to the back of his room and opened a door. And he was like, will this do? So I worked out the back of my barber's for probably a year or so whilst I was getting going. And I was all kind of squeezed in. And then he moved out and I overtook in the big space in that, probably about the perfect time. And yeah, I've been in there ever since. And I'm kind of looking at the moment thinking about other spaces because I've got, everyone has big plans and I've got some coming on at the moment, so I'm thinking I might have to move again. But yeah, we work out of a unit that used to be a barbershop and that's where we're at now.
Amazing. And let's hear maybe from other sellers about your stories. I mean, often sellers start with a sort of a small inventory stock and they build it up, then they need new premises. Has that been a similar journey for yourselves? Have you had to make that decision to invest in greater storage space? Obviously you're selling $1 million a year, so you must have large storage spaces.
Yeah, so we started in our founder's bedroom, like probably all sellers do, and very quickly moved from one warehouse to another. And the best investment that our owner did was buying a space just post-COVID. So we've got a 100,000 square foot warehouse, which then our wonderful Stephen took his own personal mission to fill it. And it's probably a little bit too big for us, to be fair. We can really kind of scale that back, especially with kind of third-party kind of logistics. And I think it's hard to navigate when you scale. Everything scales with you, right? So it's not just, I've got a bigger building. It's in the rates, it's in having to have a team, health and safety, it's all the compliance that comes with it that I think sometimes you can be quite naive when you're in scale and you're in growth to forget that when you're getting bigger and bigger and bigger and things start to break. So I think for us that was kind of a key moment of when we got into that size space of being like, right, okay, we've got COVID. COVID was great. We're a home and garden retailer. Naturally, it was amazing for us. What now? And it was putting those processes in place with the size of the business. So we use, I can see Limericks is right in my eye line. Limericks is for our inventory management. And we work really closely kind of with them to make sure we've got a really good routing sequence, that the inventory's got really good circular stock counts, and that we use the space as effectively as we can, because it's great having a big space, but what's the point if you're not using it to its capacity?
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, I guess we were similar. We started off in the bedroom when my other half came home and said, I've got a really great idea for a business. I've just seen a big skip outside of school and they've been putting in laptops and desktops, and I asked why, and they said, well, we've just had a new kit and we don't know what to do with the old stuff. Hence Pre-Loved Tech was born there and then. I continued in my job for quite a while, the reluctant, risk-averse person to fully get on board, but Matt proved us right, and it grew from there. But we were in our bedroom at my house to start off with, and then we took on a unit at our business development centre, which is a council-run establishment for small businesses just starting out. Then COVID started, which locked everything back down, and we had to take a step back and decide how we were going to try and move forward and move from taking equipment from schools and businesses to consumers online via a website, trading website. Yeah. Which really took off during COVID. I think COVID was brilliant, as you said, for us. We grew really quite rapidly, ran out of space, moved again. 6 months later, oh my God, we ran out of space again. So getting that location space right was really challenging during COVID, because we grew so rapidly, and then once COVID stops, then you can rebalance and settle and say where you are now. So we're on our 4th unit now.
Amazing.
And I think we've got the space just about right, with room to go upwards in the unit with a mezzanine, so we can actually expand within the unit that we're in, which I think is perfect for where we're at with the business.
Yeah. And how do you decide when it's ready to move to that next phase of space? Because that can be like a leap of faith, right?
Yeah, it's really challenging. It's just, we had to move from the first unit because we literally couldn't move. We'd grown that quickly and bought in that much equipment. We couldn't actually physically work well. So that was an easy one to move. But I think we made the mistake of moving too quickly the next time and not really right-sizing the space that we needed. But it's a really tricky balance, as you said. You've got a lot of things to consider. Future growth that you've got planned for the next 2 to 3 years, because leases generally are 3 years long. It is a tricky balancing act. And I think using your strategy and your business plan, and AI is a great tool now to actually help you plan that strategy. I think is all the tools available to you to do that.
Great, Elaine.
Yeah, so we're slightly different. So we've got a bricks and mortar shop. Because we're all about teaching people about repair and reuse and that education piece. So we really believe that in order for people to be it and do it, they've got to see it. So we've got a bricks and mortar shop in the heart of Leith. Leith is an area of multiple deprivation in Edinburgh, so we're very much community-based. Big shop. It used to be a farm food shop, so it's got a lot of storage at the back. We're a social ITAD, so where some ITADs do it for profit, we work with businesses, they donate their tech, and we bring the social aspect of that. What are we going to do with the profits to help our community? And we're engaged in the community, so we've got perfect space, perfect visibility, so people can buy in our shop as well. But a lot of people come in, see the tech, and then they go off and they buy it through eBay, which is brilliant, and we recommend them doing that. So we're all about visibility and really educating people that buying refurbished tech is the cool thing to do. It's the thing we should all be doing, and it's great for your pocket, and it's great for the impact that it can make to our planet and our people in our community.
Amazing, thank you.
Can I ask some questions? Easily.
He's taking your job.
Yeah, do you want to on the iPad?
Firstly, on that front, so obviously I looked at a lot of refurbished tech when I was trying to buy my new laptops and stuff like that. In terms of performance and in terms of educating people and the kind of barrier to entry you have to go through to get them to appreciate that, hey, this is almost as good, or if not as good as buying something new.
Yeah.
Like, how have you dealt with that? And generally, what is the truth? Because I'd love to know how if refurbished tech is buying buying new.
So again, eBay has helped us with that because you're buying it through a trusted source. Obviously, when you're buying our refurbished tech, you get the warranty, a year's warranty, as you would do if you went into an Apple store. But because they know us and they trust us, and we've done a lot around the stories, because people buy goods, but they also buy into stories. And if we can tell a fabulous story about the refurbished tech and who's actually refurbished it, we've created green jobs, what's happened in the community, what's happened about tonnage diversion. So the stories have helped people to trust buying from us on eBay. And because if anything goes wrong, they probably get a better service from us, no quibble, no problem. We are a trusted provider on eBay, so it's about building the trust and building the stories, and then people do it.
In terms of that, so this is mine is actually like a technical point, sorry. In terms of performance, obviously you refurbish everything to basically like brand new. And then the other thing I want to ask business side of it is, with the stories and stuff that you put behind it and having the label of refurbished tech, do you actually get better prices at any point over other people because you storytell about your items? Because that's like a big thing. Generally, people buy off the emotion half the time. So if you can give them a really great story about where it's been homed from, does that lead to better sales for you, generally speaking?
Yes, probably, because when people are thinking and comparing prices, we don't go rock bottom, nor do we go sky high. So they would have a choice, and they could perhaps buy cheaper somewhere else. But again, I think the stories and the trust and the fact that when they buy from us on eBay, they know that there's going to be no problem, no hassle. Yeah, I don't know. The feedback that we get is really great on eBay. We listen to what our customers say, and a combination of really great service and really great stories and really great product, we seem to be hitting the mark.
Awesome. We have our first question in from the audience. I think it's actually a question for you, Benji. So, but we can probably broaden it to more inventory sourcing from everyone. Question is, do you find clothing wholesales good, or do you handpick everything?
I mean, I feel like, so it's actually interesting to be up here with people to sell different things, because I'm quite surrounded by clothing, generally speaking. A lot of the people I know sell clothing. It's like a pretty bbig community of people on eBay, and it's normally what people can get into quite easily. But within that space, I feel like there's like a stipulation around wholesalers, and lots of people have had bad experiences, and it's because there's so many out there. There's so many doing different things. But I know a few people now. Like I probably would have held that same stipulation until recently. But there's a few people I've met who have got it narrowed down, and I feel like it's the same with everything. There's lots of bad out there, and you have to kind of go through it to sift away all the rubbish and see through the trees. But once you find people that can really deliver what you want, then it can be one of the best things you ever do, even though it takes way more time and you have to kiss a lot of frogs to get somewhere. Once you've got that set up compared to what a lot of us do, which is probably struggle on the sourcing side for this sort of end of things, wholesalers completely solve that issue. They'll do all the hard work of sourcing stuff. You'll get stuff at a consistent price, build relationships with them. They can be great. I think they're hard to get into off the rip, though. I think you need big capital to get really good deals, and you need to go through the process of finding them all, which may cost you money in the process. So it's a hard place to start a lot of the time. And if you get burnt off the rip, then it's going to be quite difficult for you to like kind of navigate that going forwards.
Okay. Anyone else want to share the sort of inventory sourcing journey?
We have a bit of a mix. We manufacture and produce in China and ship by container. And then we've got a really kind of good mix of wholesalers that we work with within mostly the central belt of Scotland, which is really good if you sell out something to get it in literally the same day, but also other suppliers throughout the UK. And we use them to kind of test the water almost to see what the demand's going to be like. And we do a lot of that on eBay first, because for any of you that do sell on any other marketplace, you'll know that eBay, you can sell that same day that you list. You can't do that anywhere else. Like I've never listed something on Amazon and sold it the same day. So we'll buy a couple of cartons of something, we'll test it usually on eBay first, and then that means that we can either buy bigger from a different wholesaler or then start to look to manufacture it ourselves in China, but make it better, make it our own. So yeah, we do kind of deal with a lot of UK wholesalers. It's about building a network, I think, and I think you've already echoed that you're a community, and it's similar, I think, within any industry. I think they're quite siloed. That's the only thing I would say is like the home and garden industry stay. The fashion probably says, the tech probably says, especially refurbished tech. But yeah, I think it is really interesting coming to somewhere like this today and just kind of hearing all the stories is so interesting.
And I picked up on something you said there. You test on eBay and then presumably scale to products that work onto other platforms? Or?
Yeah, so we would normally scale. We almost always list first on eBay, and we almost have that as our source of truth.
Why?
It's the easiest to list on, it's the quickest I'll get a sale. So selfishly, I will get revenue return quickest. Also, it's very then easy to then pull that data that might not be as keyword rich in terms of SEO. It might be still, obviously things are changing now with AI and eBay, but used to be very still kind of personable. And we'll then pull that data through into Helium for Amazon, or we'll just use that data to pull into the likes of all the Miracle platforms. I think everybody now is joining Miracle, so Debenhams, B&Q, The Range, Wilko. Wilko's on virtual stock. But yeah, so we kind of pull that across 19 other marketplaces, but we would get that first initial hit and test it on eBay, and that's something I think that we've always done. And I think it is, as well, is because you've got that support, and I think it doesn't matter kind of what size you are. With eBay, you can normally speak to a person, and you don't get that in other platforms. So it's another reason why we always list first on eBay.
Okay. With what you do, so again, all of us are kind of pre-loved existing brands and stuff like that. So when you're testing stuff, what are you basically doing products that people haven't got listed, generally speaking, like new complete items on Amazon and eBay, or are you jumping on the back of, for example, on Amazon, you've got stuff that sells really well and everything's ranked as to how well it sells. So when you say you don't have stuff that sells the same day, is that because basically everything you put on is a new thing to the platform versus jumping on other listings?
Basically we do all our own listings. We do jump on some listings, but it's relatively rare, and obviously only with supplier permission. We tend to chase what's in the market at that moment. So we do a lot of AI keyword research. What's your top search terms on Google? What's your top search terms on Amazon? Anywhere that will give us any data. And then we'll go to our wholesaler and we'll just, it's great now because I can put a catalogue into ChatGPT and I can put keywords into ChatGPT and I can be like, marry it up for me, what should I buy? And it'll tell me. But old school, I'd have Hannah there Oh, yeah, okay. Screen wash, yes. Concentrated screen wash it is. We'll maybe buy 24 to 96 pieces of it, get it in, get it listed. If it needs shot and we need to do our own assets for it, so actually take imagery, we would tend to buy more than that 12 or 24 pieces because it's an investment of time. But yeah, the cycle for how we list will probably be so different to how you guys, because listing for you.
It's also interesting to hear that you go off a lot based off trend, because
Yeah.
that's quite scary, especially in ours, because like clothing switches so fast. Like you can't keep up with what the next thing coming in is. So if you buy something that was like a big trend, and if you don't sell it quick, then you got stuff that's not going anywhere. And do you not run into that a lot whilst cycling through stuff?
We've got a lot of COVID hangover stock. I can picture an elf in my dreams, or should I say nightmare. It skews RO206. Literally, there's 2,000 of them. So, yeah, we get a lot of issues with inventory where you chase something. COVID was hard because it was the unknown, and we almost thought it wouldn't end and you couldn't go on like-for-like data, and then you couldn't really go on 2-year like-for-like data, but we've got over that hangover now, and it's using data to make decisions, as well as that kind of knowledge of the industry has kept us right, and we don't have too much now. We're selling out every season, but we still have elves from COVID and some sun loungers, but we're nearly there.
I'm going to ask a question about community, actually. So we've had a question that come in saying, as a single seller, I feel it can sometimes be quite lonely. Have you found any groups, or how do you engage with the community to get support for your business? I think maybe, Nicola, you're quite active in the community. Maybe we start with you.
The seller meetups, I think, are the key one that I would mention. Yeah. I'm not directly involved myself at the moment, although I am doing a session at the next one that is being held in Birmingham in a couple of weeks' time.
Good plan.
Matt, who's my business partner, and there's a stand actually in the main area as well you can go and have a look at, where the seller meets are happening all across the country, and you can book a free ticket to go and meet, and it's run by sellers, for sellers, so it's supported by eBay as well, and you'll just be able to start building that community yourself and get engaged, because I think as an individual working on your own, it can be quite lonely, and it'd be really important to go out there and make those connections, build those networks, learn from other people that have been through similar things, and actually give back as well, because other people might learn things from you. So I definitely recommend people go over to the seller meetup stand and have a chat with the guys there that give you more information about that. Yeah, really important.
Great. Elaine, have you done the seller meetup?
No, but in terms of community, there definitely is an eBay community, definitely. So coming to these events, you meet people. We were lucky to be an eBay award winner in 2024.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much for social impact for the UK. And that was amazing, because right away my fellow winners, we are still part of a community. We've still got our little WhatsApp group. We will still ask each other questions. So that has been brilliant. We've suddenly got this little community. And also, I think there is a community there with eBay, because you're not alone. If you've got a question, I was just speaking to Caitlin before we came on, and we only trade on eBay. So my impression of e-commerce is just, wow, you've got a question, you've got a direct link to someone at eBay who will help you, will answer questions, who will support you. I just think that's par for the course. I'm hearing that is not the case. So how lucky are we that we've got a wide network? You know, your support system is there at eBay at the drop of an email. It's been amazing. So, the community is from things like this, from applying for awards. I would recommend that you do that, and definitely linking into all the support that eBay offers, because you get to know these people, and they are your wider network and wider support system.
Amazing.
So, my experience with community has been probably a bit different to like the standard eBay community. When I first started doing this, I love a deep dive into YouTube and stuff like that. And I will binge watch anything around the subject I'm interested in at the time. I started 3 years ago now. And there's a few people, it's funny here, that I've seen around that I used to watch on YouTube that I now don't have as much time for nowadays. But that's how I started, and that's how I got into it. And with YouTube actually comes a lot, like an Instagram community, generally speaking. They kind of semi-mirror each other with some extra people on the Instagram side. But I basically fell into, when I was trying to learn all my stuff and look through everything, I fell into a group run by a big seller in America. And I was in that for quite a while. And that was one of probably the most life-changing things for my business, generally speaking. And eventually that led me to form my own group. And a large part of this crowd is from my group. And it's genuinely one of the best things I've ever done, because not only, again, reselling can be when you're solo, especially getting started up, it's quite a lonely job, like they said. Like you're quite isolated. Yes, there's people online, you can talk on forums and message, but you don't really see anyone. You can be in a unit doing nothing by yourself for quite a while and not see the light of day sometimes. Yeah. So for that and being able to talk and interact with people, it was massive. And I like talking, which is probably why I'm up here, to be honest with you. And then outside of that, it allows you to skip so many problems that you'd run into. Yeah. If you ever have a question, like I talk to these people 4 times a week on live calls. So if there's anything going on, any news, any updates, anyone has a question on anything, anyone's doing definitely different in their business, you can just go, you rock up, you ask a load of people who are all doing similar things to you. Some doing completely different. And that's part of the beauty of it, generally speaking, because eBay especially, there's 1,000,001 ways to run your business here. There's probably just here, there's a load of different ways to do it. But it's genuinely one of the best things I've done. And it's also what keeps me engaged in my business more than anything, because I'm quite, I like to follow my interest a lot of the time. So if I get a new thing going on, and then my brain will go off that way. But talking to people and being able to engage with people, I find a lot of joy in. So doing reselling means I get to talk to them, and that means I get to stay on board. And yeah, you get to learn a load of things that you wouldn't otherwise. It speed runs the process so quickly and saves you a lot of time, and you can figure out a lot of things with a community effort versus, a solo effort here and there. Thank you.
You've got your supporter club in the audience here. Well said, Benji. There's a lot of talk today around AI. We just launched our Activate program. We've launched eBay Live this year. Do either of you or any of you use AI to run your business, or any of you interested in exploring eBay Live as an opportunity? Please share your thoughts on that.
Yeah, well, I think probably like a lot of us, like 3 years ago, if anybody within my team was using AI, I was like, we can't trust the robots. Don't do it, guys. Don't you use AI. No, you need to write it. People buy from people. And now I'm like, guys, you need to use AI, because otherwise we're not going to get seen. And we're not going to have that impact. We're not going to be able to move as fast. So we use AI for everything. We were just chatting about that, actually. Every aspect of the business, whether that is for keyword research, whether that is for a product description or title, or whether that's before that process even starts and you're doing that product research to bring the item in. Then all the really sexy stuff like compliance, and we'll do all of that by using kind of AI tools and the amazing ChatGPT, which honestly has changed my life. Share an account with the other Caitlin. I don't talk about myself in the third person, guys. There is another one of me. And she sees all the random searches that I have. So certainly it is a really, really great tool to have. And especially for everything like images and where to go next in your business. It's almost like this sounding board of knowledge. Yeah. So yeah, we use a lot of AI tools in terms of eBay Live. Super exciting. We're quite a big TikTok Live seller, which is relatively rare within the home and garden industry. We've been doing really, really well recently with like Halloween doormats, garden games, and we're really excited for eBay Live. So we've signed up. Home and garden isn't a category that's open yet, but we do have some gifting. So yeah, we're very excited to get behind the camera and see what we can do. I think when we've got about 30,000 followers between our 3 shops that we'd be able to kind of target with eBay Lives. It's a no-brainer. Yeah. We only have 1,000 followers on TikTok, and we can do 50 sales in 45 minutes. So amazing. Imagine what we can do if we capitalise on this opportunity.
Nicola, you've just gone live at eBay Live?
Yeah, we had our first eBay Live session last week. The actual platform itself and the technology went really, really smoothly and really well. I sit behind the scenes, definitely not in front of the camera. That's definitely Matt's job. But it went well. We had an audience, which was great. We trialled it with a fixed price session. Yeah. it was quite evident from the audience they're looking for auctions. So we've got what we're calling Tech Tuesday, starting next Tuesday, where we are going to be trialling some auction-based listings as well. So if you've got some time next Tuesday, have a look at the eBay Live section and join us for our first auction event and support us in that, where you'll be able to purchase like mobiles, laptops, tablets, etc. for hopefully some decent prices that you'll see.
Are you starting at £1 for any of those auctions? Or?
There will be some. We are going to be starting some at £1. It's really tricky in the tech space because where you've got price points for buying at, that can be anywhere between, 20 and £500. A 99p auction on an iPhone 15 Pro Max is not going to work. So they will be starting higher. But we are planning some 99p auctions, and there will be Tech Tuesday every week. We are the first tech sellers on the platform, on the eBay Live, so it'd be good to get some support from whoever wants to join and have a little look. But I think it's a really exciting prospect. I think it's definitely the way people are starting to buy more. TikTok is obviously the one where people are more familiar with it. But we're really excited about it. And Matt's great in front of the camera, so why not tune in and have a look?
And I guess the nice thing is you can test and learn your way into it. I heard we had an eBay Live in the US that started with a Rolex watch at $1 that sold for $75,000.
Wow.
So in an auction format. So
there is opportunity there, and we'll give it a go. I mean, it's always that reserve kind of like, I really want to put it for 99p and risk it selling for a loss. But actually, we're prepared to take that gamble, I think. We've been massively supported by the team at eBay Live in before, during, after, sessions, feedback, all that kind of stuff. And the onboarding was good. So, just super excited to see it grow. And hopefully, we'll be doing a live session every day in the future, leading up to Black Friday and the cyber days that lead up to Christmas. So, really great.
Great. Elaine, you want to comment on AI or live at all?
Haven't done live, so I'm very interested to hear more about that. AI, yes, we use that. We use that for recommendations for replying to customers. That's really great, rather than reinventing a wheel. So we use that quite a lot, and that's obviously helped us be a trusted provider and good service because we're spot on in our replies. And we've also used it for really detailed, fantastic, accurate listing descriptions as well. So that's where we've used it mostly. But I've got no doubt that as the future of this goes on, we'll get braver. And get more akin to what we can do. I think the possibilities are endless. Even in photo AI and things like that, we were talking about that. We haven't done that because we do believe that photos have been a key success in our sales. We do amazing our own photos because we're selling refurbished tech, so it can't be stock photos, and so we create really great imagery. But I'm wondering how AI could perhaps improve that even further. So. Dipping our toe in the water, but really open to hearing more about what we can do on eBay with it.
Amazing. Benji, finally, AI or live?
Also, just so I don't get told after this, I don't even think I mentioned the name of my group, so it's the reseller group if anyone is interested, because else I will get shouted at. But AI has been a very interesting one for me, especially recently, because do you want the honest opinion on the eBay AI or not?
Any use of AI?
Okay, eBay AI I have not found much use for. I find the listings generally probably sometimes inaccurate and over the top, and especially in clothing, there's so much nuance to what you're selling. So, for example, like not to narrow down your guys, but when you've got tech, you've got like a piece of like a model number, you know exactly what it is. It's much easier to grasp what it is and what needs to go in the title. But for clothing, a lot of the time, there's like nuance to keywords. The style of it is very important depending on what it's going to be priced at. All of these things kind of go into it. I actually say creating a listing for clothing is pretty hard compared to some things. But so when you're putting it like the clothing into AI and it's trying to guess a price for you and it's trying to get a title together and use keywords that are going to work, it's not very good. Outside of that, I also think the descriptions are probably a bit over the top for some stuff in terms of how you sell it to people. But I genuinely think the most transformative thing for AI in eBay is the listings. Like if you can get an actual bang on listing tool, or at least one where it kind of basically like a bulk listing tool, where it does enough of the work to be as close as possible that you can just go into like the bulk lister on eBay and just scan through, change the prices to what you know to be true, maybe a few words, then it was going to save you a bunch of time, realistically speaking. And I believe you partnered with OpenAI, is that correct? And that's super exciting because I think if you can kind of assimilate like the two, you could be in a really good position to make some really good quality stuff happening. And the other thing that I don't know if this is what you're up to, but if you aren't, please do. Etsy and Shopify have also partnered with OpenAI to be able to do one-click buying from ChatGPT. So you can just be in the chat, ask for something, it will offer you, recommend something. If eBay can get somehow into that as well, that would be really cool.
eBay Live?
eBay Live for me, I don't think it kind of works with what I like to do. I also think it's super difficult. I feel like live selling is a very hard task for certain niches and is difficult to make work. Because if you need to get stuff very cheap at the start, because if your margins aren't healthy, like very healthy, and you're trying to auction stuff off, you can get yourself into a real pickle really, really quickly. I also feel like it leans itself a lot towards impulse buying, like people that like the entertainment of it and like the show and the bids and everything, and they want to impulse buy. And that's why I think tech might be quite hard, because it's normally a more considered purchase when you're doing like a couple of $100 and buying something compared to 20. It's a lot easier. And I also think that's why collectibles and trading cards have done really, really well, because they're super impulse buy. Or people are always seeking more of it in some sort of way. And even like the garden accessories, she was saying, Caitlin said she sells really well on TikTok Live. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense, because if you're selling like doormats and stuff like that people like the look of, that's like it's like an easier buy for someone, and it can be something you impulse buy because you like the look of it, versus again the tech and stuff like that would be difficult. But I also think you have to be good at it. You have to be good at live selling, which is a whole different thing. Like, it's a whole skill within itself to go on camera and be like, hey guys, buy my stuff. Look, we got this thing. That's scary.
I think you might be good at it.
I don't say anything. But yeah, in terms of quickly back to the AI thing, the actual use cases for AI are unreal. So it's something I've only really gone into recently in terms of automating my bookkeeping by like combining a load of things together. Lead generation for trying to find leads to buy stuff from. I'm looking to make my own customer services representative as an AI bot rather than the one through eBay, because it can be a bit more customized to yourself and how you talk. But there's so many opportunities for it, and genuinely, if you're not on board with it right now, just start getting familiar with talking to ChatGPT and kind of how it functions, because I think it's going to be obviously it already is a big wave, but in terms of what it can do for your business once you get it, it's going to be really, really big.
So look, thank you very much. I'm sorry for all the questions we didn't get to answer. I'm sure you'll be hanging around by the stage so you can answer any specific questions that you may have for any of the panelists. We are between this audience and lunch, so we're going to have to draw it to a close there. Thank you very much for taking the time out to join us. I know that you don't have to share your stories with the broader community, and you've chosen to do that today. So for that, we're really very, very, very appreciative. Please give us a round of applause for our panelists.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now I'm handing over to Mark to bring us home for lunch.